Okay, I want you to picture a scenario. And I think this is going to feel uncomfortably familiar for a lot of you.
Mm-hmm.
You have done everything right. And I mean, like, everything. You bought the expensive ring light. You learned to edit in 4K.
You're posting 3 times a week?
At least. You're engaging in the comments. You're using the trending audio before it gets, annoying. You are feeding the algorithm exactly what it wants.
You're the model citizen of the creator economy.
Right. And it looks like it's working. The follower count is creeping up. People are commenting fire emoji, fire emoji. But then you open your banking app
Oh, boy.
or you look at your Stripe dashboard and it is just flat. It's a flat line.
Famous vanity metrics trap. High engagement, low revenue.
It's worse than a trek. It's a treadmill.
Right.
You're running at full speed. You're sweating, doing all the work, but you're just staring at the exact same scenery.
And the default reaction is always to run faster.
Always. Okay, I just need to post more. I need better hashtags. I need to get on the next platform.
We immediately think it's a traffic problem or, an algorithm problem. If I can just get more eyeballs, then the money has to follow, mathematically.
But the source we're breaking down today, and this thing is just incredibly sharp. It's a script from The Creators Lab, episode 12. It comes in with this massive reality check.
It's basically a manifesto.
It is. It grabs you by the shoulders and shakes you. The title alone is so aggressive. It's called You Don't Have a Growth Problem, You Have a Selling Problem.
Yeah, it's a direct attack on that whole starving artist trope.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a bit of a slap in the face for anyone who thinks of themselves primarily as a creative.
Oh, it's a total slap, but maybe a necessary one. The core thesis here is that if your numbers are flat, it's probably not because your content sucks.
It's because you were refusing to sell.
And we really need to define refusing because the source argues it's not just about being lazy or something.
No, it's a psychological block. It's about this deep-seated resistance to the very mechanism that could sustain the whole operation. You can build an audience, but you can't capture value.
And you end up, as the source puts it, famous and broke.
Yeah.
Famous and broke, that is the absolute nightmare fuel. So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out why this happens. We're going to dissect these barriers, the psychological ones, the tactical ones, that keep a creator from becoming a business owner.
And I think we have to start with the biggest barrier the source identifies. It calls it the identity trap.
This part really resonated with me. The source points out that most of us in this space, we identify as educators or entertainers or experts.
Right, so let's take an example. Say you're the sourdough baker on Instagram.
Okay.
Your identity is that you're a teacher. You're here to show people the beauty of fermentation, how to get that perfect ear on the loaf.
Yeah.
You are a provider of value.
Exactly. You're the cool, helpful friend on the internet.
But you almost never identify as an operator. You don't see yourself as a business owner. So when it comes time to actually ask for money to say, hey, buy my sourdough god, you just recoil.
Because it feels like a betrayal of the character you've been playing. You want to be the benevolent teacher, not the guy in the cheap suit trying to sell me a used car.
Yeah, that sleazy feeling.
There's this fear that if you try to sell something, you break the spell. You stop being the cool creator and you become a salesman.
And the source calls this pitch aversion. And here's where the psychology gets really interesting. It says, creators view the act of asking for money as taking value away.
Right. I've been giving you all this free value and now I'm going to ask for money, so I'm extracting something from you.
Which feels sleazy.
Yeah.
But here's the paradox. The source just hammers home. If you don't sell, the business never stabilizes. You literally can't keep making the art if you don't master the commerce.
I do want to push back on that for just a second, though, because I can hear a lot of people thinking, well, if I just make the art good enough, the money will sort itself out, Patreon, ad revenue, whatever. Isn't the art the most important part?
The art is the product, absolutely. But the source brings some receipts that just kind of crush that if you build it, they will come idea. The data on this is, frankly, pretty bleak.
Okay, yeah, hit us with the numbers.
So it cites these creator economy reports showing the vast majority of small creators.
Yeah.
And we're talking people with tens of thousands of followers.
So an established audience.
A real audience,
Yeah.
yeah. They generate less than $1,000 per month.
Less than $1,000 a month. So they have the fame, they have the comment section blowing up, but they literally can't pay their rent with it.
Precisely. And the diagnosis isn't that the audience isn't there. The people are watching. Our sourdough baker has 50,000 people watching her knead dough.
Right.
The struggle exists because the monetization is inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's inconsistent because the creator is relying on what the source calls the silent mistake.
The silent mistake. I like that. This is the concept of value without direction.
Okay, think about the brain of your average Instagram user. They are doom scrolling. Their brain is in a passive, almost vegetative state. They are just consuming.
Yeah, they are not in shopping mode. Not at all.
Exactly. So the creator thinks, I'll just keep posting amazing bread videos. And eventually, people will wonder if I have a cookbook and they'll go find it.
That's what the source calls the fallacy of hope. The idea that if I'm just helpful enough, people will do the detective work to find a way to pay me.
Now, the source is brutally clear on this point. They won't.
They won't.
Attention without direction, it fades. If you don't tell them exactly what to do next, they will consume the free value and swipe to the next video. It's not that they don't like you. It's just that you haven't given them a path.
It's like being a tour guide in a huge museum, giving this amazing life-changing tour, and then at the end you just walk away without telling anyone where the gift shop is.
That's a perfect analogy.
And then you go home and complain that nobody bought a souvenir.
Yes, you're waiting for the audience to initiate the transaction. But the audience isn't thinking about your business model. They're thinking about themselves.
Okay, so we know hoping doesn't work. We know we have to direct the traffic. So why are we still so scared to just say, hey, buy my stuff? The source breaks this down into 3 specific fears, which I think are worth unpacking.
They are very legitimate. Fear number 1 is looking pushy.
The classic, I don't want to be annoying.
Yep. Fear number 2 is losing followers. The worry that the moment you put a price tag on something, everyone who was there for the freebies just hits unfollow.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, is a valid fear. You will lose followers.
Yes, you will. So the fear is true.
Well, you will lose the wrong followers.
Yeah.
The source argues that if someone leaves because you offered a paid product that actually solves a problem for them, they were never going to support the business anyway.
They were just expensive looky-loos.
Exactly. You're just pruning the dead weight. And then there's fear number 3, being judged. That little voice, the imposter syndrome. Who does she think she is, charging $50 for a guide?
Yeah. But here is where the source completely flips the script. And this is the part I had the hardest time with at first. It argues that clear offers actually increase respect.
That sounds so counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does.
Because in my head, the artist is cool and mysterious. The business person is trying to get something from me. How does selling make people respect you more?
Think about it in terms of authority. Ambiguity reduces authority. If you're constantly giving advice, but you're really vague about what you actually do or how you make a living, it could feel a bit amateur.
Like a hobbyist.
Or even a little desperate. It's like going to a restaurant where there are no prices on the menu and the waiter just sort of shrugs when you ask what the specials are.
You don't feel relaxed. You feel anxious.
Right. You're wondering, is this a scam? Is this going to cost $1 million?
That's so true.
People actually trust businesses that sell with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
There's a psychology of safety in a clear offer. If I know exactly what you're selling and how much it costs, I can make a simple decision, yes or no.
It removes the friction.
It does. And if you're vague, or if you seem kind of apologetic about selling, I start to wonder if the product is actually any good. Confidence signals competence.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. We're scared. We're hoping for magic money. We're stuck in the friend zone with our audience. How do we fix it? The source lays out a really specific mechanic, a framework.
Yeah, it breaks it down into 3 simple layers. Layer 1 is attention.
Got it.
Layer 2 is trust. And layer 3 is the offer.
Attention, trust, offer.
And most creators are masters at layers 1 and 2. They know how to get views, that's attention. They know how to build a community, that's trust. But the source says the break point happens at layer 3.
The offer. This is where our sourdough baker just freezes up.
No. She has the attention, she has the trust. But she never builds the bridge to the offer. She just assumes that the trust layer will naturally bleed into the offer layer.
But it doesn't. You have to actively build that bridge.
You have to build it.
So let's talk tactics. How do we cross that bridge without being the, buy my crypto scam guy? How do we do what the source calls healthy selling?
Healthy selling. It's a great term. It basically has 4 key elements. First, clear next steps. Don't just say, I have a course. Say, click the link in my bio to join the cohort that starts on Tuesday.
Be specific. Tell them literally where to click.
Second, repeated reminders. And this goes right back to that fear of being annoying. You have to remember that algorithms are actively hiding your content from people.
Right. That's the old rule of 7 in marketing, isn't it? Someone has to see an ad like 7 times before they even register that it exists.
Exactly. You might feel like you're screaming about your product every single day, but your average follower has maybe seen it once, if they were lucky. You are not annoying them. You are just finally becoming visible.
Okay, third point.
Frictionless access. Make it incredibly easy to give you money. If someone has to DM you to ask for a PayPal link, you've already lost them.
And the fourth point.
Mm.
This is the one I really want to dig into because I think it's the mistake we all make.
The no apology tone.
Ooh, the no apology tone. I'm so guilty of this. I think everyone is.
Tell me what that looks like for you.
It's the apology sandwich. You know, you write a caption and you bury the sales pitch in the middle and you surround it with "so sorry to bother you" and "I know I usually just post memes" and "no pressure, totally cool if not."
You don't have to buy it if you don't want to.
Yes. Why on earth do we do that?
We do it to protect our own egos. So if nobody buys it, we can tell ourselves, well, I didn't really try. I wasn't really pushing it. But that tone signals one thing to the audience. I'm not actually sure this is worth your money.
It devalues the product before they've even clicked the link.
Completely. The source says you need to strip that away. State the value, state the price, and stop apologizing. The mantra here is this: selling isn't convincing, it's inviting.
Selling is inviting. I like that. But is it really just a mindset shift? Because it feels like a really big leap to go from "sorry to bother you" to "here is the price."
It is a mindset shift, but it's one that's rooted in how you view your own work. If you genuinely believe your product helps people, if you believe your sourdough guide actually saves people time and flour and frustration, then selling it is an act of service.
Selling is service. Because if you don't tell them about it, they can't get the help you're offering.
Exactly. Let's use a different analogy. If you were a doctor and you had the cure for a migraine and you saw someone in terrible pain, would you walk up and say, "Hey, sorry to bother you. I know you're busy, but I do have this pill, but you don't have to take it"?
No, of course not. You'd be like, "take this, it works, you'll feel better."
You wouldn't apologize for offering the solution. You would feel a moral obligation to offer it.
That really changes the dynamic. If I'm withholding the offer because I'm scared of looking pushy, what I'm actually doing is prioritizing my own comfort over the audience's solution.
Bingo. You are protecting your ego at the expense of the person who actually needs what you have.
Wow, that hits hard. So we're looking at a massive pivot here. We need to shift from asking, "how do I grow faster?" which is just chasing vanity metrics, to asking, "how do I present my offer clearly and consistently?"
It's about realizing that real growth follows structure. You can't grow a business that doesn't have a foundation. If you don't have that offer layer built, pouring more attention into the top of the funnel is just wasting water.
It just leaks out the bottom. You could have a viral video tomorrow, get 1,000,000 views, and if you don't have that no apology offer ready to go, you stay broke.
And that leads to the source's closing sentiment, which I find so empowering. It says, this isn't actually a growth problem, it's a courage problem.
A courage problem. That's interesting because growth feels external. It feels like the algorithm is doing something to me. But courage is completely internal.
Exactly. It's not that you don't know how to post a link in your bio. It's that you're afraid of what happens when you do. It takes courage to define your value. It takes courage to put a price on your work. And it takes courage to stand behind that price when all you hear is silence.
But the alternative is the plateau. The alternative is staying on that treadmill, creating content for free forever, and, hoping your landlord starts accepting likes as a rent payment.
Which, last time I checked, is not a valid currency.
Definitely not. So the takeaway seems really clear. Define the offer. Present it clearly. Repeat it unapologetically. That's the bridge from creator to business.
And you have to realize that the sourdough baker who finally sells her guide isn't selling out. She's building a sustainable life so she can keep baking.
That's the key. The commerce protects the art. It doesn't ruin it.
Precisely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought to kind of mull over. We've talked about the fear of selling, the fear of judgment, and the need for courage.
But I'd ask you to consider this and really be honest with yourself about it. If you truly believe your work provides value, if you really think what you do helps people or solves a real problem, is your refusal to sell it actually a form of selfishness?
Whoa, that's uncomfortable.
Are you keeping the solution hidden because you're afraid of a little bit of rejection?
That flips the whole script.
Yeah.
It stops being about taking money from people and starts being about giving them a solution.
It's something to think about next time you hesitate to hit post on that sales page.
Absolutely. Stop withholding the help. Start inviting people in. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the Creators Lab. Now go sell something. We'll see you next time.